I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We continue on to page 32 of the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory workbook. And we continue in the topic of the minor scale. However, in exercise 3, we can see that we've got to write in the missing degrees of the scale. And there are a couple of things to just make sure we think about. Of course, we need to count each step of the scale. We need to make sure we remember the related key, so we know if there's a key signature. And then we need to add the accidental, and that will be the raised seventh, which is always as an accidental. And it seems quite simple to count to 4. However, the trick is that sometimes we forget to count the first note as 1. So we need to count the tonic as 1. And then we need to count line, space, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that takes us 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes us to a D. And if you want to just double check that you've got that correct, we could just give it a brief outline of the scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. They are the steps of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can see that D is indeed the 4th. Now, A minor is related to C major, so there's no key signature to bear in mind or to add. But then we do have to always add an accidental for the 7th when we're talking about the harmonic minor. So the 7th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is G, which we raise by adding a sharp. So we need to bear that step in mind as well and add the accidental where necessary. So just being careful to count to 4 from number 1, which is the tonic, and then the raised 7th is also necessary. And so perhaps now you feel you can just go ahead and try the remaining exercise 3 questions on your own, and now we can check through them together. Hoping that you've tried this. It's always better to try on your own. Work in pencil, and as I always say, you can just erase it out and have another go. So we're still in the treble clef here. We're on the tonic A, still in A harmonic minor, but we're just an octave higher. And we need to count to 6. So counting A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That takes us to an F. And that's correct. We know that F is indeed the 6th and the accidental doesn't apply here. So that's that. Now moving on, if we're in the bass clef now, A is the tonic, that's number 1. One step next to that, so line to space, will take us to the 2nd, and B is the 2nd, and so we know that's correct. So there's our answer. And then lower down in the bass clef, we're counting from the tonic to the 7th degree of the scale. So counting space, line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our 7th. So there's the 7th, which is a G. However, we're not there yet because remember the G must be sharpened. The 7th degree of the scale is always sharpened. Otherwise, it's not the harmonic minor. It's always that 2-step system. What's the related key? And then we raise the 7th degree. Up until now, we've only been thinking about C major, so we've not need to concern ourselves because C major has no sharps or flats as a key signature. So also does A minor. And we've just had the raised 7th to think about. However, let's press on now to the other 2 scales that we briefly discussed at the beginning of the chapter. And so this is where it's really worthwhile to just do a little bit of revision and to refresh your memory on the fact that E minor is related to G major and that's why it has a key signature of F sharps. D minor is related to F major, and that explains why we need the B flat key signature. So that's step 1 is the key signature. Step 2 is we have to raise the 7th. So we raise the 7th, and that's an accidental, so we have a D sharp accidental. We can't have a D sharp in the key signature after an F sharp. We know that the sharps must go in order, and if there's a D sharp, there's got to be an F sharp and a C sharp and so on. So we have to build up. It's always as an accidental. So G major is the key signature, the raised 7th is the accidental. And so in F major, we have a key signature of B flat, and then the raised 7th is C sharp. So we raise that by adding a sharp accidental. And of course, you can't have a flat and a sharp in a key signature together. So we have a key signature of the B flat to show our related key, the C sharp. The raised 7th is always an accidental. And you'll notice, as we've mentioned at the beginning of this chapter, the semitones fall in a different arrangement. And if we work this out kind of in a laborious manner, we can see, for example, just using this visual reference, we can see that E to F sharp, this is an F sharp, remember the key signature is active there, so E to F sharp is not a semitone. F sharp to G is, so there's a semitone. G to A is not, A to B is not, B to C is, C to D sharp is not. That's our 3 semitone big step. That's the biggest step we can have for a next door note. But D sharp to E is, and so that's the long way of working out where our semitones fall. However, if you remember that it's 2 to 3, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, if you've got your key signature correct and you remember to raise your 7th, you can just remember 2 to 3, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. And so doing the quick way here, we know that 2 to 3, 5 to 6, 7 to 8 show our semitones, and we can just double check that now because we can easily see that E to F is a semitone right next door. And then this here is correct because remember this is a B flat, the key signature is active here. And so we can see that A to B flat is a semitone, and then because of the raised 7th, C sharp to D is a semitone, and it's that arrangement of tones and semitones in the harmonic minor scale which gives its distinctive tonal quality. And now, before we address exercise 4, I suggest that you do a little bit of revision and then use this as a little test just to give you a little bit of a sort of learning opportunity, because it's so much better to kind of really actively learn it now. If you just keep popping over the page and keep looking it up, yes, you will look it up and you'll get it correct, but it's a very passive way of learning, and turn the page and you'll have forgotten. So I suggest you now use this as an opportunity for a bit of revision and then try it from memory. It doesn't matter if it goes wrong, you know, you learn by your mistakes and you can always erase it out and have another go. So we need to name the minor keys that have these key signatures, but let's just use every revision opportunity available to us, and let's think of the major key as well, and then that will give us an opportunity to learn the pairs of the related keys as well. So we know that 1 sharp is the key signature for G major, and so now we need to answer the question, which minor key is related to G major and shares the same key signature of F sharps? And if you've done your revision correctly, you will have said that that is E minor. Now here we have a key signature of nothing, which we know is C major. And so which minor key shares the same key signature of nothing, which is the related minor key to C major? And the answer is A minor. We have this question again. We've already answered this just because it's in the bass clef. It's the same. F sharps, good boys say football, F sharps is the key signature for G major, and the related minor key is E minor. And that just leaves us with this last one where we have a B flat, which we know the major key signature for F major, and the paired key signature with that, the related minor key to F major, which shares the same key signature, is D minor. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.